this 1970s TV show called The $6 Million Man, starring Lee Majors as Steve Austin, the Bionic Man. And in this episode, it was titled Burning Bright, with guest star William Shatner, of course, from the 1960s Star Trek series, which I showed many clips with him before, talking about how science and science fiction are one and the same. I'll play that clip later on, but I found it very interesting with this episode, what it's all about. Again, him playing an astronaut. Let's take a look at the footage and listen to what is said here. Very, very fascinating. And to go along with this, I made some more interesting connections with the producer of the $6 Million Man. First off, let's take a listen to what is said here. And actually, before I play the clip itself, this is the supposed footage of Ed White's spacewalk. Let's take a look.
Mission Control, I've got some news for you. It's going to shock you, so you better sit down. Listen very carefully. The Earth is flat, gentlemen. That's right, it's flat as a table.
Now that, of course, is the voice again of William Shatner. This is again all about duality and mockery, with the former captain of the Starship Enterprise saying the Earth is flat. I mean, it's completely, again, nothing more than mockery. The man known for, space travel, exploring other worlds, other planets, is saying the Earth is flat during this by the way, this is a 1974 episode of The $6 Million Man. Let's continue on here with this scene here with Lee Majors as he's talking about the character Josh Lang, again played by William Shatner.
Well, this first part, now that's pure Josh Lang. This Earth is flat bit, that's his sense of humor.
Now here's the very end.
Mission Control, I've got some news for you. It's going to shock you, so you better sit down. Listen very carefully. The Earth is flat, gentlemen. That's right, it's flat as a table.
I played these clips before. This is from William Shatner, going back to last year, talking about basically how science and science fiction, once again, are both the same. Now let's take a listen to this clip just for reference for those that have not seen it.
How do you prove a black hole? How do you know those gravitational waves prove the collision of two black holes?
Somehow, eventually, they are able to observe phenomena.
No, they can't observe. It's too far away. It's too theoretical. How do we know what they're saying is true? You know what it really is? It's all science fiction.
You've inspired so many people to enter the sciences. How do you balance science with science fiction? They're both the same. The mystery of science fiction is what I'm talking about. Science and science fiction are essentially the same. Thank you very much.
More dumbed-down pandemic entertainment for the masses. William Shatner right here, that playing the Star Trek movie. TV show, basically. Yes, showing you space, brainwash the masses for the space brainwash. Just like Star Wars do, program the masses to believe in space. Somewhere where you just go high and float. What a bullshit. And look right here, people. Now, the so-called William Shatner, 90 years old, gonna actually go to space. Remember, I already told you what the Earth is. It's a closed environment, a dome. Nobody getting out, nothing coming in. That means all of this is mockery. They can't get out and you can't get out. We all trapped in this earth, so they make up this fantasy for the dumb people, yes, who got no brain box. Tell them they can get out. Nobody asks why the cloud floating and hovering around the sky. Why? Because it don't have a top? People just stupid in this world. Why is the cloud hovering around here and it's an open ball? We are an open ball. Why the cloud don't float away? Watch this right here, people. It's just trickery for you. There is no space.
William Shatner, the actor who made a name for himself as Star Trek's Captain Kirk.
How can you make a name for yourself when Hollywood put you on and to the people for the brainwash? How can you make a name Get out of here,
The
people.
chance to touch the final frontier.
Look, final
Overnight, Blue
frontier.
Origin sharing this picture on social media.
Look, sharing this picture with somebody holding the pyramid and the hand sign. Yes, he going to space. I told you the whole wide world is dumb. And I said, God bless the people who believe in this fucker right here. Where they gonna take you with it? Because you're dumb. That's why you believe in it. Watch this right here. Final frontier.
Of Shatner arriving at their astronaut village ahead of his journey into
astronaut
space.
village.
He is now just days away from making history.
Wow, making history.
Gentlemen, I suggest you beam me aboard.
In less than 48 hours, the man who made Beam Me Up, a
Yeah, beam
catchphrase
me
as
up.
Captain Kirk,
Welcome aboard, Captain.
is now going to space in real life.
This is the dumbest shit in the world, people. He going to
Boldly
space
go where no man
in
has
real life. Star Trek's right here, people. A lot of people sleep because they don't have no knowledge. This is what brainwashing to believe in space. Told you, let go the kid fantasy. Why you think they make these Star Trek for your mind when you were a kid? To sell you that shit and now you won't let it go. TV. Wow. TV make you believe in space and you're living in real life. What a dumb shit.
At 90 years old,
90
legendary
years
actor
old, and look at him, people. You believe he's 90? It's just according. They all fake, 100%. With the 9/11 post up right there in the back for coding.
William Shatner will become the oldest person ever to fly to
Wow.
space.
Now to that historic space flight. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin company blasting off at the oldest person ever to travel into space.
Hear that?
Science
And the first thing you gotta understand, people, they're showing this on the news. This is all you have to understand. This is the news, people. And they bring you science fiction. That's all it is. It's fake shit. It's not real. Why did they give you this on the news? Everything on the news is fake. 100%. As you see, ABC right here, they're owned by Disney. The same people that give you fantasy. What you can get, people. A princess kiss a frog, turning into a prince. All of that you get from Disney. And it's the same people give you the news. Pay attention.
Origin company blasting off at the oldest person ever to travel into space.
What a
Science
bullshit.
fiction coming true for 90-year-old actor William
Science fiction coming true.
Shatner, the Star Trek hero Captain Kirk, returning to
Wow.
Earth overcome with emotion,
What a
saying he was
dumb shit.
struck by the Earth's vulnerability. ABC's Gio Benitez there for the launch, later speaking with the planet's newest space travelers.
Wow. Take a look at this, people. It's not real. They never left to go nowhere. If you believe they're in this, you're stupid. 100%. You believe that the William Shatner and the other sodomites is in this shit? Wow.
Night,
Okay.
history made.
History
Star
made.
Trek's Captain Kirk, William
Take a look at this right here, people. They do the same thing over and over and over. The same thing they did when they tell you Jeff Bezos left. This is CGI right there, people. What's wrong with you? What you see under there, that so-called fire, it is CGI. The whole thing is fake. It's not real. What you can get, space is not real, and this dumb shit right here is fake. What you can get.
Shatner boldly going to the final frontier and
Final
back.
frontier. Take a look at this shit right here, people. It's CGI.
And just to recap here, you're looking at a live shot of Blue Origin, the NS-18. 4 people on board, 1 including William Shatner, above space at this moment. All right, Ed, just refresh again. What are we looking at?
So on the left-hand side of your screen, you have the booster coming back down to Earth. You know, we're approaching, several minutes into the mission, and at around the 7-minute 30 mark, you'll see the booster land, right? At the moment, it's using aerodynamics. You can see those aft fins on the bottom of your screen that basically position the rocket to slow it down using Earth's atmosphere, the atmospheric resistance, and when it reaches a few thousand feet above the Earth, it will deploy those engines. You'll see that any moment now with the engines reignite with a quick burst to slow it down. The clamp feet will then deploy on the bottom of the booster, and it will land on the landing pad, which I think just came into vision just now. Let's listen in for a quick second.
Oh my god, dude.
What is that actually happened?
Of course it happened.
God.
There you have it, like CGI, landing back in Van Horn, Texas, on the landing pad. like CGI, landing back in Van Horn, Texas, like CGI, like CGI, like CGI, like CGI.
Today I'm going to look at Captain Kirk's so-called journey into space. But first we're going to let Chris Hadfield lay the template, the foundation for what we're going to see here. And of course, give it all away to all of us who know what the game is about, and of course stand by the things that are simply true. And by doing that, we know this space is nothing but a charade, a pantomime. And Chris is going to confirm that for us indirectly here. So let's just have a little listen.
Retired Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield joins me now to talk some more about this. Thanks for your time tonight.
Good evening, Morella.
So you actually sent a message to Mr. Shatner. What did you say?
Well, we chatted back and forth, wishing him well, telling him to absolutely revel in the experience, and you know, to make sure he doesn't get all caught up trying to record it or something. Have fun, you know, really absorb.
Very revealing, Chris. So you told Captain Kirk, William Shatner, to revel in the fun, but don't worry about capturing any of it on film. Let me just listen to that again, just to clarify, Chris.
Experience, and you know, to make sure he doesn't get all caught up trying to record it or something. Have fun, you know, really absorb.
No offence, the experience would be even better if you captured it on film so you could replay that experience time and time again, Chris. The fact you're telling Captain Kirk not to film it, this once-in-a-lifetime experience, kinda gives the game away, Chris. Dear oh dear. Let's just watch a snippet from the actual launch itself. I watched it live, skimmed through it. There's no footage live from inside the capsule, that all gets released later. And of course there's loads of cuts left, right and centre. Just the usual tosh essentially. So we'll just look at a short clip of the launch. And off they go to space, supposedly. Wonderful stuff.
Like CGI.
William Shatner.
And of course, they use the bell for coding. 100%. Ringing the bell. Satanic shit. You better wake your ass up.
At 90 years old, becoming the oldest person ever to blast off into space.
Right when he's 90, they do this. You believe that? It's just a coding.
5 decades after Star Trek began.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Today, traveling aboard Amazon founder Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin spacecraft.
See that people, Blue Origin, and look at them so-called floating. The same thing you can do in the zero-gravity plane. I told you people, it's bullshit. 100% it is fake. Remember, the William Shatner is an actor. And what he was there doing? Program the people to believe in space. That's what in Star Trek was there to do. And he never stopped. He come back again. Right here. Bam! Show you that he actually go to space. Yes, to continue the space programming in the New World Order. I already told you.
6.5, along with 2 paying customers, and Blue Origin's VP, Audrey Powers. The rocket traveling 66.5 miles.
Wow. They just didn't want to say 666. That's why they say 6.65. You understand?
The West Texas desert. Shatner saying simply, wow.
It's just bullshit, people. It's an actor. The same shit he was doing in the movie, in the TV show. He just upgrade on your ass right now. Fooling your ass. Look at the number 3 post up right there with all diamond paddings around.
It seems Blue Origin is back at it, except last time they did not get the desired results that they were after. It seems Jeff Bezos and his crew of flunkies didn't quite do a good enough job of fake spacing it. Oh, excuse me, space faking it. So, this time they enlisted the services of a professional actor, the one and only William Shatner, who is a professional space faker, I might add. He's been faking space ever since the fake dinosaurs roamed the fake planet. So he is the perfect actor if you want to hire someone to pretend to go to space. So this time around, Jeff Bezos and his crew of flunkies and William Shatner take off in their penis-shaped rocket, and they go to space once more. Except this time, things are different. They didn't bring Skittles to throw in each other's mouths. Oh no. This time, they actually care what's out the windows. In fact, I'm going to stop talking about it and have you watch it. Check it out.
Well, now to another big story we're following. Science fiction became science fact for actor William Shatner today. At 90 years old, Star Trek's Captain Kirk became the oldest person to travel to space, and he was clearly moved by the experience. CBS's Mark Strassman was there to witness it all.
Has cleared the tower. She is on her space with the second human spaceflight crew.
This was the voyage of the Blue Origin spaceship, first step.
The mains.
And right back down again, like same-day shipping.
What? And capsule touchdown.
A gift from Amazon and Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos.
It was so moving to me. This experience has been something unbelievable.
55 years ago, Shatner's Captain Kirk led a starship of galactic hopscotchers. Today, he became Kirk, and at 90, overcome by the moment.
Everybody needs to see it. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, you know, the little things of weightlessness. But to see the blue color go whip by, and now you're staring into blackness. What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I'm so filled with emotion about what just happened. It's extraordinary, extraordinary.
All the crew cried after landing.
I hope I never recover from this.
Captain Kirk's a fictional figure. I'm flesh and blood.
You're flesh and blood. You came back clearly moved.
Tremendously, enormously.
All right, folks, let's break down this space fakery one clip at a time. First, they have the rocket launch, and of course, all Blue Origin rockets look like penises. They have the most realistic penis-looking rockets that I have ever seen. This proves to me that the more you make your rocket look like a penis, the more aerodynamic it is, the better it flies. So the first part of the space fakery goes like this. Show video clip of rocket taking off. Then cut to the crew inside of said rocket ship as they begin to float. Now, just because you have a clip of a rocket and then a clip of some people floating does not mean the two are taking place on the same rocket ship. How are we to know that that clip of the crew floating is indeed taking place on that same rocket ship which they showed us a clip of a rocket ship taking off? How do we know the two things are the same thing? We don't. That's left for us to assume. In fact, I can show you a rocket taking off and then show you the crew of Star Trek, but that doesn't mean that the crew of Star Trek was in said rocket. So, as I examine and analyze the footage from inside the rocket, I see exactly what I saw in the last Blue Origin fake space video. I see people floating around, having the sensation of weightlessness because they are in a vomit comet. A traditional vomit comet airplane doing parabolic maneuvers will give you everything that you see happening on the screen. So I have watched this video a bunch of times, like 10, 15 times now. And I've noticed some things that I didn't notice the first time around or the second time around. And I have discovered new evidence that I want to present to you guys. I have also changed my mind on how I think this whole fake space mission was done. The first Blue Origin space mission that they did a couple months ago, I think they used a traditional vomit comet and parabolic maneuvers. Now, this time around, I originally thought they were doing the same thing with William Shatner. However, the more I watched the video, the more it appears that they were in a stage on the ground, and they never even went up in a plane or did any parabolic maneuvers. It appears everything that we're seeing in this new video is totally done with green screen, harness, and just a stage on the ground. And also, they throw in some augmented virtual reality. So, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the new evidence right now. Alright, so the first thing I want to point out is I originally thought this was done in a vomit comet. Now, after going back and watching, it appears that all these maneuvers are just regular old harness, like high wire trapeze, such as that lady right there. You notice she's not doing any complex flips or anything. She's just being raised up slightly. You could basically just have a few people just yank on a fucking rope and just raise her up slightly. The more times I watch this video, the more I realize William Shatner doesn't really do any floating at all. If you look at this scene, he stares at this other guy who's floating, and it's as if they have a few people off to the side yanking on a rope and then getting this guy to raise slightly, and then William Shatner just stares at that guy while he's not floating at all. So let's take a look at my favorite piece of evidence that this whole thing is a bunch of bullshit. Let's look at this lady's hair. Look at it. Just look at it. Hey, how come it's not sticking straight up like all the other women who go to space? Whenever we see examples of women on the International Space Station, or over on the other space company, SpaceX, the women's hair shoots straight up. But this lady's hair, nope, doesn't do that at all. In fact, you just see one little piece of hair off to the left there just slightly move. It slightly fluffs upward. Meanwhile, all the other examples of women in space, their hair goes shooting straight upward. Seems like a major inconsistency that this one lady's hair just happens to stay in place. Oh, except for that one little strand right there. Take a look to your right. Let's see it again. And a little slower and closer now. Did you see it? Look again. Now really, really slow. Pay very close attention to what you are seeing. Now ask yourself, is that augmented virtual reality? Such as an object that only exists in virtual reality? Or is that just a natural floating object in outer space? Totally not glitching, totally not losing any frames. Or what? What is it? Alright, now let's take a look at the landing. Wow, look at that impact. That's quite an impact for a 90-year-old man to take out in the middle of nowhere. And they just so happen to have a crew out in the middle of the desert where this thing was going to basically crash land. Seems to me if one or two of those chutes wouldn't have opened properly, or if those chutes were to get tangled together, that metal tin can capsule could have easily smashed down and killed the entire crew inside, kind of like what happened to Mad Mike. But anywho, it worked out just perfectly. It smashed down and the 90-year-old man walked right on out, no problem.
Parachutes should deploy, and will they? Bang! They deployed. You think, okay, I'm going to be all right unless... And then they've got They've got boosters on the bottom of that thing so you don't hit it too hard. And if they don't go off, something terrible will happen. They've got boosters on the bottom of that thing so you don't hit it too hard. And if they don't go off, something terrible will happen.
Inflate, and there go the drogue parachutes. And here come the mains. Whew, what a flight. You can already start to hear the cheers from outside our stage here in West Texas.
That's unlike anything you'll ever feel.
Stand by touchdown. Stand by touchdown.
Stand by touchdown.
So you're going to tell me sitting in a chair with this type of impact. Let me just play it back here. Just watch it again. I'm not going to stop at this time. With this velocity hitting the ground, that much impact.
Welcome back.
And that's what I'm going to get into.
Audrey Powers, William Shatner, our customers, Glenn DeVries.
Now watch this here. I'm going to move this up.
On their way back about how
Now you have this capsule. And what I'm going to get at is literally you just have some pickup trucks arrive at the scene. And this is just all just editing, of course, with the goons inside, the actors. So you have a helicopter there. Now here comes the trucks. Now one thing is that never makes sense to me with all this nonsense is why don't they have any rescue vehicles like an ambulance or anything of that sort, arrive at the scene just in case something goes wrong. It's always what comes out of that truck. It's a film crew, So that to me just screams like what's going on here. Let me speed it up here. It's just a lot of nothing happening.
I know we were talking to Chris a couple days ago. As you mentioned,
And let's get to it here with the goons. And, look at this. No sense of urgency. This goon right here. And they bring some kind of a ladder, And again, the first thing you should see here is not this kind of crew. You should see medics arriving here, checking up on people. But you have the camera crew here. All this. Let me move it up here. You have some more people here. Before setting this up, you open the latch and make sure everybody's okay. But they're not concerned about that because they know. And here you go. You have all these pickup trucks. And it's just like I said, a big production. There's no fire truck, no paramedics.
Where we have just composted our recovery crew.
And there you go.
And is about to open the hatch.
You get the boom mic. Before you have the guy with the boom mic, you should have people opening up and looking, making sure everybody's okay, and not all the camera work for this TV production, like I said. Yeah, this fake, happiness, it's ridiculous. Just very plastic.